I think there's a separation between the skills and the theory. I think theory is much easier to teach in a classroom because theory is high level and a new mentality for a new mindset.
What if
Whereas skills like playing the piano, to look over the person's shoulder and see the keyboard when you're coding, to look at their screen and see how they're typing, to pause and rewind, those are skills. And I think skills those are awesome. That's what Udemy, Lynda, Coursera, they're built to teach skills. The theory is where I get a lot of value out of the university. I'm not sure if Udemy is there to replace the theory yet. Like, could you imagine learning theory from a course?
What if it were AI and it could have a conversation with me and help me understand all the parts that I got caught up in, instead of being in a classroom with a bunch of people where you don't want to raise your hand every time you don't completely understand something?
And that is 100% possible with how smart chatbots are, with the dialogue flow system that's built out.
Twilio went 34% up today, and they do all of the chat, like a lot of chatbots and conversational voice tools, and I think that it could definitely be something that saves a lot of people time. Like, even today, I was just, so I've started writing articles the last few weeks, and so far I've written 20 that are take 3 to 5 minutes to read, but I've then thought, why don't I speak into my phone based off something that you said? And I now realize, oh my gosh, when I speak into my phone, I literally type so much faster. And I'm a pretty good typer, but just compared to speaking, it does not come close.
I wrote a 6-page essay yesterday in 20 minutes. That would have taken me weeks to write before. Now I'm never going to write a college paper not using my voice. My college papers will all be written with my voice from now on.
Wow.
I wrote an essay right before this. I wrote a hometown paper. It was 1,000 words. I had to talk about my hometown. I had to write about my hometown. So I just sat there and I talked about it. And I feel like it captures so much more emotion when I'm speaking to it. And it's getting how I would actually say a sentence if I was communicating it. And then I capture all of that. And then I have my massive marble block. Okay, I've word vomited. I've given everything that I could possibly need. Now I just chip away at that. Rather than spending all my time trying to type the things from my brain and communicate that to the computer, I'm spending a lot more time on the edit process, on refining the idea, rather than just trying to get it down on paper.
Right.
It changes up where you're spending time.
It makes it so that the valuable part of the process is something that you have more time for, because you're not typing out the ideas and forgetting them when you're halfway through.
And for the Medium articles that you're writing,
and what if you could have literally just said it as you had it? You're like, oh, this, and then you say the sentence and it's typed.
Yeah. No reason not to.
Yeah, and that's what's missing in education, is that they still don't even teach. Well, maybe they're teaching this now. They probably are. Maybe we just missed out.
Maybe
we're just
You're bringing
the
up a
archaic
good point,
version,
though.
and it hasn't been shed out yet, because the things that have helped us do that, like you said, Udemy is 10 years old, which means that or 9 years old. So that would mean I would have been 13 when it came out. So by that time, maybe it was too late for me to learn about it. Maybe if I was 10 right now, those kids are. I have no idea.
The systems in our society are growing so fast. Schools are having a lot of trouble keeping up because schools rely on bureaucracy and getting approval and asking permission and writing grants and getting there's a bunch of steps that are required in order to make a change. The rest of the world's not waiting on schools to approve it. It's just going to continue to grow. Meanwhile, there's this open platform where anybody, as soon as they come up with an idea, can create a course on it. As soon as someone learns about Jovo, they can go and create a Jovo course to teach other people what it is they've learned.
Yeah.
It's so much faster. Could you imagine if a school said, hey, as soon as you learn a new thing, we'll offer you to become a teacher, and then you can teach a course next semester?
Yeah.
Could you imagine that?
Well, so I think another aspect of that, too, is that it makes me think that schools should become companies in a way where, or maybe even vice versa, where the companies are funding the schools. That way, every single thing that they would teach you, there would be an applicable way to make money from it. Because I think a big problem that people have, they're like, oh my God, I just spent $100,000 on my college education. I can't even find a job anywhere. What if all of the companies that were giving out jobs were the schools, and that's how you got into a company?
And that is why I wanted to pay people to learn.
Right.
People's attention is their most valuable asset, and if I can train you and pay you to be taught, knowing that that's an investment, because as soon as you learn, you will be an employee that provides a significant amount of value back to my company. I want to do that. I want to bring people on who are excited to learn, who are excited to go out and ask questions, and I want to teach them. Because rather than having them spend $40K to go into debt so that they can work for my company and not have fun doing it, why don't I pay you to learn? If you end up not liking the process and not liking what we're doing, you peace out. But in the meantime, I'm teaching you exactly what you need to learn in order to do this job. Mm-hmm. You ask questions in order to apply that learning. education is going to go through a lot of changes. 2018 was a year for voice to become big and for shopping to be 100% redefined with automated cars, Amazon Go, delivery, voice ordering of your groceries. Groceries, massive change in 2018.
Yeah.
The next 5 years, education is going to go through a massive rewrite.
I can't wait for both. Like, if I have a family in the future, like, I would love for my kids to be able to learn from the person who is the best at doing whatever they loved more than anything.
You don't have to wait till you go to college. For Christmas, my mom, that was how I started with Udemy. I got a Christmas present from my mom. She's like, here is a web development course. I immediately turned around and started learning that.
Anyone else got that for Christmas, they'd be so upset with their parents, but like, it
takes
would
a
pretty
certain
much
kind of
be
person.
nothing to so many people, but that is the perfect gift for you.
What if someone gave you the best photography course?
It'd be great. I would love that.
You gotta know what someone's interested in, and it helps you to figure out what you're interested in.
Yeah.
Like college, people changing their majors. After you spend 20 grand and then you're like, shoot, maybe psychology's not for me. It's hard to make that switch because you've already invested 20K. It's like, do I really want to switch into business? Because at this point I've spent a lot of money. What if I don't like business? The iterative process is much easier, and it's easier to make those decisions when you're making smaller investments. Take a photography course, spend $20. Did you like it? Yeah? Go take some pictures, try to sell them to a person. You didn't like it? All right, what's next? What do you like? Try out a new thing. Give it a try, apply the learning, repeat.